This is part 2 of our coverage at the NBBQA. Let's get into this.
Just grab them in the brisket. just grab them in the brisket.
We've got a new intro.
I was about to say, it's a new intro music now.
Yeah. See, we said we were going to do this the other day, and this is what we're going to do. We're going to steal your voice now, and we're just going to
Let brisket style. Right. It ain't my fault. Just grab them in the brisket. just grab them in the brisket.
I love it. That's awesome. I love it.
I feel like me and you look like we should be in a band together.
Yeah.
Right.
We actually are in a band, and we came up with a theme song for a podcast called Grab 'em in the Brisket, and it goes a lot like this. Yeah. Just grab 'em in the brisket. Grab 'em in the brisket.
Hell yeah.
All right, we're out. Mic drop. Is my mic on? Is my mic on? Is the mic on? Just grab 'em in the brisket. Is my mic on? Mic's on.
It's on.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Hello? Can you hear? Hello?
Grab 'em.
Yep.
Grab 'em. Grab 'em.
Did you
grab 'em? Grab 'em in the brisket.
Did you get it?
Grab 'em in the brisket. All right, we'll see y'all later.
Right.
Brad from the Shed. Love you too. Bye.
Later, brother. Thanks, Brad. Guys, you have all just experienced Brad Orrison.
That's
Right.
Yeah.
That's a lot like
The
last
man.
night when we were with him.
Yeah. The man, the myth, the legend.
He really is. He really is.
He is. No, he's super cool, man. It's something I've seen about this whole thing is that everybody is so willing just to talk a little bit, share a little bit. It's kind of a cool event. I know it's not as big as it has been in the past or whatever, but
That's what I hear.
and they were you're saying like 400 or 500 people were coming here, but COVID kind of killed a little bit, but
Put a little damper on that.
Yeah,
didn't it?
yeah. But it's back. It's back in.
It really is. They were saying that there's normally like 3 or 4 charcoal sponsors. There's normally a few pit builders. Also, I guess it's just like the COVID thing is what's making everything slow down.
Yeah. See, that's the thing now. It's like when we're in Texas. I mean, there's no COVID.
No, there hasn't been the whole time.
Texas
We didn't do anything.
Texas built a wall.
We don't do
Yeah.
COVID.
It's a wall around COVID.
Yeah, we really the whole time.
Right.
Most of us barbecue guys were. I mean, there's like a spit blocker, kind of in between, while you're cutting the brisket and whatnot on the block, and that's 6 feet-ish,
Right.
So we're wearing gloves. Yeah,
We're safe.
Yeah. I mean, there's some places that kind of got caught up in it and whatnot, but we kind of smoothed. We went straight through it.
Right. Well, I think the bars and those type of places really suffered, right?
Big time.
The taverns, the bars, and whatever, right?
Yeah.
But like restaurants, a lot of that was to go. Like people still doing the DoorDash and the Grubhub
and restaurant with bars was actually a big plus, and that was a big differentiating thing.
Mm-hmm.
So, I was in a food hall, but we were attached to a brewery. So the brewery was technically its own LLC, so it had its own, it was a bar.
Right.
So they got shut down. But then that's our beer that, whenever somebody comes to get our barbecue, they get to go to the brewery and get beer.
Yeah.
Right.
So we ended up getting a special permit through the TABC to where we showed the TABC that our sales are more than 51% of their sales.
That's right.
So then now you can actually have this. So they got to open back up and be a bar again, pretty much.
Very cool.
Yeah.
That is awesome.
And then Texas also passed, to where,
love that.
Yeah, right?
I love that.
So it was only like New Orleans you were able to go and do stuff like that back in the day, but now Texas.
Oh, to go like margaritas.
Yeah. And they don't just like fill up a margarita in like a jug and send it to you. They give you, the margarita mix plus like a little bottle that looks like a flask.
Tequila.
That you get to take it home.
Yeah. So in our town, they just had the 5-gallon jugs of it. And he's put tape on it. And I'm like, that's
Obviously, a lot of places they'll have like a cup with a straw in it, and you have to leave just the end of the straw cover on it.
Yeah.
And then that's legal now. But if you pull that little straw cover off,
that's an open container.
Yeah.
No, you can't do that.
Right.
So we're being joined by Brendan Lamb. We didn't say that.
I know.
Sorry.
We're going to get that out there so people know who we're listening to.
I'm sorry. Yeah, Pitmaster. So you were with La Barbecue?
Yeah, I started off my career with La Barbecue, and at the end of 15, 16, one of those.
Yeah.
And worked there for a long time. We had all these plans to open up in Los Angeles. Before what they're doing now, the county was being really, really big sticklers on, what kind of smokers you're allowed to use. So they wouldn't let, offset smoker was completely off. You weren't allowed to use those.
Oh, wow.
You were going to have to get something that you can put underneath a hood vent you know, and then right around that time is whenever Truth opened up in Houston and has that, you know, that beautiful pit room, covered everything in your hood vents and your Ansel systems and all that. So then now Los Angeles, and kind of that was like for the rest of the nation, people could start to do that now, to have indoor pit rooms.
Right.
And that was the big thing. But it was just wrong timing. By the time, you know, I was supposed to be at a low barbecue for like 3 months and train up and open up. And I ended up staying there for like nearly 4 years.
Oh, wow.
So, and it took the reins, and I was the only, you know, I was the main dude there,
Yeah.
you know, and there's another guy at nighttime, Frankie, that would do all the ribs. But after a while, I was like, you know, if we're not going to Los Angeles, I want to do my own thing. So I moved up to North Fort Worth, this area. I started off actually in the stockyards. I had 2 smokers that I got from Primitive Pits, hooked me up hardcore with 2,000-gallon pits. And I put them in behind Grady Spears' restaurant over here in the stockyards off of West Exchange. So during the day, whenever he's operating and everybody's out walking around, I'm back behind the chopper supply cooking. You know, and then all the cowboys will start getting out of the bars, you know, 1 or 2 o'clock, and all the bikers start showing up, and I'd have, you know, 50 briskets ready for them.
Barbecue.
Yeah. You know, so,
awesome.
I mean, the city finally caught on. They're like, yo, you need a permit, man. You can't.
You are a business.
Yeah.
You didn't know it, but you're doing a lot here.
Yeah, I was like, no, I'm not. No, this is,
No, it's just it's a pop-up. It's a friends.
Right.
These are my friends.
Bunch of guys coming to hang out. They're like, you're walking up and down the street with
you're-
your square reader.
You're selling it. I see you.
Yeah.
Just
Here's
donations.
you on video.
Donations.
So we went out to Ponder after that. If y'all know where that's at, it's like right past,
Yeah.
right outside of Denton.
Okay.
And I set up right across from the only gas station in town called Bev's. And we were there for a good bit, you know, right just on an airstream on the side of the road.
Nice.
And it just took up so much time. We had to go to a commissary kitchen, you know, that was like 10 miles away. And it wasn't conducive, you know, especially with like just me and my wife really running it for the most part with a few helpers. So we ended up looking for an indoor spot, you know, about a year and a half later.
Okay. Is that the
got
commissary? Is that for? Because you need a commercial kitchen.
Yeah,
Right.
you have to have a commercial kitchen where you're disposing of your, you know,
Right.
washing dishes, you know, storing your food,
Yeah.
all that. It's supposed to be where you're cooking everything, because there's kind of like a gray area with this barbecue situation whenever it comes to, you know, the health food code and all that stuff.
Right. There is.
It really is. I mean, just to highlight on that, whenever we were in Ponder, it's an unincorporated city. So it's in the county, but it's also mostly just like a territory of the state. So we go to the city and we're like, hey, let's get our health permit. And they're like, oh, we don't have that. You know, you need to call Denton. So we call Denton, and Denton's like, well, it's unincorporated. You know, it's supposed to be something that happens within the city. So we were like, well, the city told us to call y'all. And they're like, okay, you know what? Call the state. So then we call the state, and the state's like, I mean, it's really up to the city.
Yeah.
So like, we didn't have to have a permit out
So
there.
I guess we're cooking barbecue.
Yeah, we just
Right.
yeah. So all these little limitations you have of like having to have your smokehouse to where it's completely enclosed.
Yeah.
You know, you have to have the screened in, or like, you know, have something where the bugs can't get in.
That's right.
So instead of having to have all that, we didn't have to follow those rules, and it was like more of an outdoor experience, which was cool. But it's so windy out there. and
Yeah.
Nobody wanted
Yeah.
to eat sitting around.
You're fighting the elements.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. I mean,
So that's why we moved into the food hall, and that was a little hasty. It was really, we did amazing right off the bat, but that was, I mean, like a month before the pandemic hit, you know. So yeah, we had to line out the door every day until that happened, and then just during that time, because of funds because you know there's a landlord, there's
Yep.
you know all the other tenants there. People got behind, so the landlord wasn't able to keep up with the building, and you know we didn't get docked or anything by any health department, but the customers started being like, hey, it's fucking hot in here, man. Like, it's
right. Hey, there's no way to see
Yeah.
what's happening.
yeah, this is horrible. And you know,
Right.
everybody's food is, you know, dying real fast, and there's flies all over the place, and it died real fast.
Right,
You know, so we held it out. We did, like, you know, the to-go stuff for a long time, running it out to curbside, and it just finally was just like, look, we're done with this. I'm spending 100 hours a week for no reason, you know.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
I mean, we're selling out and we're doing that, but it's like nothing is staying stagnant. I'm having issues with this landlord not fixing the stuff he's supposed to be fixing. So let's get out of here, you know. And then now it started on to where, like, I've done the TV show, I've done you know the podcast now. I do all over the country doing consultings. Just got back from Iowa.
Wow.
So it's really cool. I get to do like more of the education side of it.
Right. The science or just
Yeah.
you know just. So is the education side of it? Is it like it's not really so much how to? It's more of like building a brand or getting out on your own, or is it?
Yeah, exactly
everything,
that.
you know?
I mean,
Yeah.
I've been offered a few times now since we quit to open Smileys back up and do it like a different style, do it big, and
Yeah.
it's just I don't feel like it's the time. So what I really like, I mean, I love to cook. I love to talk to people when they come up and want to see the smokehouse,
Yeah.
and want to come back and to talk barbecue, but. I could be spending my time doing like building this brand up and then like open real big, here in a year or two.
Sure.
And then maybe have a few locations and bring it outside the state, stuff like that. Because
Right.
this Central Texas barbecue thing that I've kind of taken on
Yeah.
is kind of the gold, the restaurant world, like the
It's a
hot
gold
commodity
standard.
right
Yeah,
now. Yeah,
definitely.
So I'm trying to take that outside the state, and
Yeah.
I'm not shy about any kind of recipes or nothing because it does nothing but bring the community up.
Yep.
Right.
So you go out there and teach somebody what you did.
Right.
That was a hit in Texas. Hopefully, you can tell your people in Iowa how you do it, and you can not entertain, but kind of educate your customers to this style of barbecue, and then it takes off.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
and then just seeing the difference of whenever you got there and whenever you left. How much difference it is, and
Right.
it's just really cool.
Well, that's what I like about Texas barbecue is that it's so it's regional. Different regions is different barbecue.
Yeah.
And well, I always bring this up a little bit, but like, if you're out in West Texas, you better throw some mesquite
Yeah,
somewhere in there,
yeah,
right?
you have to.
It's got to be in there. If you're in East Texas, the Piney Wood area or whatever else. I don't know what that's going on. I'm just kidding. Right? That's
you can't
weird.
smoke with Piney Wood.
No, it's not good.
Yeah, you got to ask Right On Taco Shop about that. I think he's using Post Oak.
Post Oak.
They're
yeah,
still
yeah,
trying to
yeah.
get Post Oak.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like how it just kind of changes a little bit, and other. To me, in my opinion, I think brisket or barbecue in Texas is not like it is anywhere else in the United
No.
States, right?
Yeah.
And when people come here, and it's a thing from other countries and whatever else, the first thing they want to do is they want to have American barbecue. Okay.
Yeah.
Texas barbecue. Something completely different, and they talk about it.
Yeah.
I want to have Texas barbecue, really good.
Because brisket is king. And they don't,
It's king.
It is, and I wear this shirt all the time. That's in a lot of my posts and all that. And it says brisket across it, and then it's got a crown on it. And it's
Yeah.
my buddy Mark McCourt from Against the Grain Barbecue in Eugene, Oregon.
Okay.
He's the one that he came up with that shirt, and that's his brand. But it's really like if you go to Lewis Barbecue in Charleston, South Carolina, he's got a big mural of a cow on right by his dining area outside with a crown on it. Brisket is king. You could be the king of brisket all day, but it's different. For different taste bud. Different.
Right.
Everybody makes
Right.
it different. So it's really what separates that is because Texas introduced this whole brisket thing to the rest of the, because before it was kind of, something that was just given down by
tough meat.
Like a
It was a
roast
tough-
going in an oven or something like
and
that.
if you want to go like way back with it, it really starts with like the slavery stuff. Is like those were the tough meats that got handed down, and they had to figure out how to cook it.
Right,
Like it was
right.
like I don't want, I'm not bringing this crap meat into my house. Like you can have this,
Right.
which is
Right.
horrible. But I mean, it's great because now we've
Yeah.
got this amazing culture,
Right,
That,
yeah.
Right,
right.
And then the Czech Germans came in and started doing some different stuff with it as well, and like introduced the sausage making stuff in Texas, and it's really cool. It's kind of become this like whole smorgasbord of because now in Texas we're doing pork belly like that.
Right,
That,
right,
that doesn't. Yeah.
Well, I saw Matt Pittman, and he did the whole take on the what was that brisket pork belly?
Yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah.
And
Haven't
I'm
tried
like-
it yet.
I haven't tried it either.
It's pretty
but
good.
It's got to
Yeah,
be good,
it's
right?
great.
But here's the deal: and we actually did a TikTok video or whatever else. Don't let Texas find out about like. We did.
Oh,
we
the
did,
tri-tips?
The
We've been
tri-tip.
taking
Oh
the
yeah,
tri-tips over,
dude, it's actually happening now. People are. I do tri-tip at some
I
of my
love
showcases.
tri-tips. Yeah. And here's the deal: we cook them up, and so we did a video. It was like, don't let Texas find out how to do a tri-tip, and then all of a sudden it's like us slicing it, and it's just like just beautiful pieces of meat
perfect.
just coming. You're like, I know people are like, oh my god, yes, that's
Here we go, Texas again.
There's Texas
Sorry,
again.
guys.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm sorry, bro. Hey, what
We
else?
just love our meat.
Yeah.
I mean, but then you got an Amarillo. You've got the 72-ounce steak.
That's
that you
right.
can go and take
Yes.
down.
Yeah.
I mean, so we kind of did a play on that, and at this last consulting I did in Iowa, we got 4 pound tomahawk ribeyes or cowboy ribeyes.
Cowboy
like,
ribeyes, yeah.
So with the gigantic long, and each one of them was 4 pounds, and we sold them for $50 a pop.
Oh,
so,
man.
yeah, I know it was not a good. It was like to bring people in.
I was gonna say, that's a deal right
Oh,
there.
it was a great deal. So,
Hey, what?
So guys were
Family?
coming in and they were having to get half pans. The silver half pans is what we had to serve them on. And they're
Oh
out
my
there.
God.
They're getting. There was a guy that nearly took the whole thing down, and he wasn't even that big of a fella. But it's Iowa, so like,
Right.
let's do something.
Right. Can I get some corn with that?
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I mean, they're deer out there, man.
Right.
God.
Right. Can we get? You're bringing sides, right? Because this is not going to fill me up.
No, I didn't say it. And we did. So we dropped off cornbread and 2 sides. Yeah.
Oh man.
That's good.
Yeah.
I love it. Hey, let me ask you a question. If you had somebody that was really passionate about their cooking and their thing, like, is there an advice or something you would say, like, they're wanting to take that next leap into whatever? What would you say?
So if they're trying to go from the backyard
Yeah.
into the the world of having a business with barbecue, I would say don't.
Don't do it. Don't. Are you crazy?
Yeah, you're a crazy person.
Yeah. You want 90-hour weeks?
Yeah. So the thing is
Yeah.
just there's not that big of a the return on it is going to be not your barbecue that you're actually cooking. You
Yeah.
know, other than the smiles you're putting on people's faces. Hence our name, Smileys. Bringing people out that let them have something they've never had before and having it your way, or somebody that's a vegan or a vegetarian hadn't had barbecue or any kind of meat in 5 years.
You
and they're
convert
like-
them.
And you convert them.
I love it. We've had it happen.
Yeah, and
We've had it happen.
you do, right?
Yeah.
So
Oh, it's great.
you're not going to sit there and be like, hey, you have to come and have this barbecue all the time, but you do know that if you have it and it's done right, and we respect the animal, we're not sitting there and going crazy with it. We're actually, it's salt and pepper. It's just traditional Texas.
Yep.
Salt, some Lowry's maybe or something.
Right,
Depends on
right.
who you
There's
talk to.
always-
Don't tell nobody.
There's always something else.
So, yeah, there's always, and they'll say salt, and then even seasoning salt. That is a salt,
That's
so
a
they're
salt.
not lying. They're
There,
not lying.
that's right. I love it.
But yeah, it's always got to be. It's always trying to honor the animal and then spread this barbecue gospel that we all thrive
Yep,
off of.
right,
Right.
yep.
So that's the main thing that's going to keep me running and keep on innovating and keep on doing new things.
Oh, yeah.
Is being able to do this cool thing and come and talk to these great people such as y'allself about this.
Yeah.
No,
we appreciate it.
Yeah,
You have no
a
idea.
bunch of
brother.
dudes standing up by the fence, watching a smoker go with a beer. That's what we're doing right now.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly. That's how it started.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. That's the thing. It's like I'm outside and so this it's like a family thing, right? You have this this Thanksgiving day, right? All your family, and Thanksgiving's my favorite holiday. Like Christmas is great,
Same.
but Thanksgiving is
Oh, yeah.
that's the money holiday for
Yeah,
me.
we get to shine.
That's right. And I love this because my wife, she'll go inside and she'll spend 6 days preparing, prepping, ordering, buying, and doing all the sides.
Yeah,
Me, I go outside.
with
I'm
the
gonna,
beer.
I'm gonna crack a beer. I'm gonna get the smoker up to temperature. I'm gonna watch it burn for a little bit. I'm not gonna cook anything for a second. Right? I'm just gonna
Like
watch
an hour.
It. Just gonna just roll my head a couple of times.
Yeah.
I've already got the meat prepped. Meat goes on the smoker, and she'll come out, and I'm like, I'm putting the meat on right now. Like I'm busy. I'm busy, right?
Yeah.
And she's like, oh no, hey, how long do you think it'll be? I'm like,
Tomorrow.
Yeah. What's that tomorrow?
It's 3 hours. I'm always 3 hours.
Yeah.
Oh, it'll be done in 3 hours.
3 hours.
Right. And okay. It's early in the morning, right?
Yeah.
But here's the deal. I'm already one beer deep. She's like, I don't know why you're drinking so early. I'm like, it's fine.
The smoker doesn't work the same.
Yeah, right.
The Cowboys are coming on in a minute. I gotta watch
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
So let's not play around. And so then I get done, and I walk this bird in or whatever we're making. I walk it in, and I'm like, it's like this. You just feel like there's light coming
Yeah.
off of it, right?
Yeah.
And I set it down, and nobody judges the sides. Nobody's like, oh my god, the best green bean casserole ever, right?
Yeah.
First bite of the meat. Oh, guys, you hit it out of my mom, right? You hit it out of the park. This is such great turkey. Way to go. Oh, nice.
He would. Sorry, go ahead.
No, yeah. And and then my wife looks at me. She's like, great. He got drunk outside and made turkey, and you're giving him all. And I have
6
chopped,
days I spent.
I've chopped, diced, sliced,
Yeah.
everything. And you're saying, she's like, turkey's really good though, babe. Sorry, And I'm like, oh, yes.
Everybody, literally everybody's giving you because
Yeah.
you did all the work,
the
right?
work.
All the work.
I carried
Yeah.
it. I cooked it. Like what? You don't want dry turkey, do you?
Yeah, and the best part is they come out, maybe being like, "Can you help me with this? I'm in the middle of.
I can't.
Right.
I just threw a log on. I gotta make sure it doesn't bump up too much.
Getting ready to spritz.
Look at this.
It's real fast.
Yeah, I love it. And I don't know. I don't know.
That's how it was in my restaurant too.
Yeah.
For the I mean, not going to paint that big of a picture like that. But,
sure. Yeah, I go extra.
My wife is straight up does like in charge of all the sides. We had these brisket ball things that we did, where it's a loaded mashed potato with brisket inside of it, and we roll them into a ball and get them in panko and all that stuff. You put them in the fridge overnight, and then you can fry them the next day. So you got these these little loaded spud. Balls.
Yeah,
and we were just trying to figure out what to do with all the potatoes we had left over during the pandemic, or we just had to figure out what to do with the chopped brisket that's left over. So you throw a bunch of sour cream and butter and some cheese, and you roll them into a ball.
Yeah,
So she comes up with all these different crazy sides, and they just takes on traditional stuff, which kind of separates you from the pack. A lot of these guys are just ordering stuff from Cisco. They're just ordering because they don't want to make it themselves.
Yeah. Well, a lot of times, and I see like some of these some of these smokehouses and whatever, and we'll go in, and you can tell maybe like they just don't care. Like it's just like one of those things. Like it's just like almost like a Luby's style thing. Or like, okay, here's our stuff. And you're like, man, like this is not. This is not good, right? Yeah. Like this is, and I don't want to hate. I don't hate on anybody, right? Yeah, I know, right? and you're like, but here's the deal. Somebody will ask me, like, "Hey, what do you think?" I'm like, "You want my?" Because I'm not gonna bullshit it, right? If I don't like it, I don't like it, right? And if I think it's good, I'll tell you it's good. And I'm like, "Dude, don't eat there. That's not good, bro.
It's not great. It's
Sorry.
Not good food.
You want Luby's? There it is."
And I mean, that's really what I grew up. We had the backyard barbecue that we all did growing up. We had and then I was like, nobody does better brisket than my dad. And then my uncle throws one out one day, and I'm like, oh, my uncle does pretty good brisket too. And then you every time you're going out, you're going to like not to shit on anybody. Spring Creek or like any of these like the big barbecue.
Good.
So that was like, okay, we got this brisket, and then I had my first bite of brisket. Right on the first day of the barbecue, and being like, "Whoa, what?
How does it?
Yeah, how's
good?
it?" And people have been lying to me my whole life.
Right?
Nobody's ever given me brisket like this.
I love that because what you're saying is the first time you ever had brisket, you were an adult.
Yeah,
and that's I think being a kid,
I've
had brisket.
Yeah.
But now looking back on it, that wasn't brisket.
It wasn't.
That was just some. Yeah. That could have been
That was just beef.
When they cured it. What's the up north they eat it a lot? It's corned beef, right?
Yeah.
Like you might as well make corned beef out of it because that's not a brisket.
It's not.
Right.
I mean, and then even if you don't cook it enough and it's tough, then you can't even make chopped sandwiches out of it.
No, you can't do anything.
Yeah, and that's the Texas brought this, and I guess Kansas City and a few other people think that they can do brisket better than Texas, but
they're liars. Well, I saw. I don't know who it is. I got to talk to them in a second, but they had the shirt on and it was like sauce on the side.
Nothing to hide.
Nothing to hide.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yes. And I'm a firm believer. We, being in competitions and we used to have people line up at our booth, you know, and like waiting to try your brisket, right? And the first person, and every once in a while, somebody will stand there and they're like, "You have sauce?" And I'll look at them and I'll just take their plate. I'm like, "This is not for you."
You're such an ass.
I am an ass. But here's the deal: it's a lesson learned. Like you didn't even try it. Like I don't care if you use sauce or not.
Yeah.
But you're not even going to try it without the sauce?
At least try it.
Come on.
So we started being like, well, I make my own sauce. So I've got a few different sauces that I make. So if you're going to try some sauce, at least do mine. But if you pull out an A1 bottle of that Tabasco out of that holster, I'm about to come across this table.
Your plate. You can leave now.
I'll pay for your plate. Oh, yeah, you can go down to Heart Aid.
Right.
So
that's funny.
Yeah.
That is so crazy.
Hey, you mentioned about your podcast.
Oh, yeah.
So what's the name of it?
It's called The Blamb Show. So Brendan Lamb.
Yeah.
And, man, it's a funny story the way that even came apart. I think it's funny anyway. My previous life before barbecue, I was in Hollywood. Mm-hmm. So I did a bunch of stuff out there, modeling, acting, wrote scripts, worked for Disney, like all sorts of fun, cool stuff. So I'm really big into movies, and I'm big into comedies, and mostly like the stupid comedies,
Oh, yeah.
Like we all are. So, Anchorman, you've got the Ron Burgundy, all the different little characters. I forget the guy's name that has the big cowboy hat. It's like Tex or something. Or,
yes.
Yeah.
But he's got, whenever he's doing his sports thing, he's got the whammy.
Yeah.
Whammy. So then I was trying to explain to my producers, I was like, hey, this is kind of what I'm looking for, like a little tagline, something quick, like that whammy thing that's going to make. So then somebody goes, blam!
Right. You're like.
So then I don't know, we just started busting up laughing and we stuck there. So Brendan Blam.
There it is.
Yeah, and there
that's good.
Yeah. So I want to at some point be like, get some kind of throwing the meat down and doing the video side of it and like throwing the meat down and be like sports highlights of the meat.
Oh yeah.
So we got these are Instagram pictures that all these top places posted this week, and here's the highlights of that. And
so you say that every single time you throw the meat down. Now,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
Right.
Blam right there. Okay, you see now we got.
Oh yeah. I like it. So are you dropping a new episode every week?
Every week, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So we last week was last week was Chef Aura Melkane. I can't say his last name, but he
I know
owns
you're talking about
Harlem Road Barbecue.
Yep.
And that is the most interesting man in barbecue. I don't care what anybody says.
Yeah.
That dude is amazing. And then next week, and Wayne Mueller was actually on that episode too, so it was a double episode. And then we're dropping Bill Dumas this week.
Nice.
And then I'm doing a collaboration with Bill this week as well. So I'm going to be at Brotherton's Black Iron Barbecue all week.
Nice.
And we're going to do some awesome sausages. I think we're going to do an elote sausage, and then
Elote sausage.
That sounds amazing.
and then like a pot sticker or something. I'm trying to work on that.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's
we're trying
awesome.
to figure that out.
Very cool,
Yeah,
man.
but if y'all are in the Pflugerville area, y'all come on and check it out.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for sure,
we'll
man.
definitely.
Yeah.
Dude,
Sounds awesome.
Cool.
thank you so much
thank you.
for
Yeah.
stepping
Yeah.
in with us. Brother, seriously.
Thank y'all.
Yeah, man.
I love it.
Great.
All right, guys, we are still here at the National Barbecue Association
And grilling.
and Grilling.
Yeah.
And we're lucky enough to be joined here with David and Jason, Trauma Hogs BBQ. These guys are killing it.
Killing ourselves.
Killing yourselves. 90-hour weeks, right?
Pretty close.
Hit the button top. Oh, there it is.
Pretty close.
Pretty close. Yeah, and look, give us a little backstory of you guys. Nothing, too fancy or whatever.
Yeah. Me and David started out doing competition barbecue, kind of like all barbecue.
Oh yeah.
The majority start, we did KCBS and a lot of local events like that. Got a lot of places, got some GCs, and the guys that we cooked with, they all retired. So I'm going to speed this up just a little bit.
Yeah,
but we're all licensed professionals in our business. I was an ER nurse, David law enforcement, doing stuff like that. And then COVID happened. We all know about that. And, man, I got furloughed from my job. Who would think that a nurse would ever get furloughed?
Right?
Yeah, no shit.
Now they're looking for them.
Oh, absolutely. Well, at the beginning of COVID, they wasn't needing very many patients and stuff like that, so they cut us loose. So guess what? Opportunity to start a business.
Yeah.
So I went and travel nursed out in California. David was laying the groundwork back home with contacts in the Kansas City area. He was living there during the time. And finished up all that. We had our trailer built and did a couple more rounds, Sacramento and down in Florida. We were ready to start our business. And it has been crazy busy. I'm talking crazy busy.
Yeah.
7 day a week, crazy
7 days
busy.
a week.
That's a good problem to have.
Yeah, well, I guess the few days you're not working, you're still working, right?
Oh,
You're still doing
absolutely.
something on it, right?
Any small business,
Yeah.
you're doing something always.
Right.
So
Right. And we were talking earlier, and one of the things I loved about it is that I think you brought up one of the special items that y'all had done was like I think you said bacon Oreos.
Bacon wrapped Oreos.
Yeah, that's right. And I'm thinking to myself, like, this is why I love this type of business so much, this model, because you're able to be as creative as you want to be, right? You can do whatever you want. You don't have to you're not set to like a chain menu that we already printed the menus. I can't change it, right? And that's a lot of times that's what happens, right? They can't, it's not digital, and then like the old smokehouses, a lot of times they just wrote on the butcher paper what they were serving that day, right? And hung it up. And it's the same model, right? I mean, you're able to do whatever you want to do whenever you want to do it, right?
It's a free-for-all.
I love it.
I mean, we have set menu items, but then we get bored with our own stuff
Oh, yeah.
and just start throwing it together. It's R&D, and you can tell by my body that I've R&D'd a lot,
There
so
it is.
we good. Yeah, man.
And it's marketing. It's all
Right.
about marketing. You're driving sales for a specific day that maybe your sales are not normally that high. Guess what? Throw in something special.
Yeah.
The only problem is we ran into the problem now. Everyone that comes to the trailer is like, well, you got special today.
Right.
So-
Right. You're like, damn it. Now we got to be creative.
Yeah, good
Victim-
brisket's not good enough anymore.
Right.
Now,
Damn
you know,
it. Ain't that some shit?
we got like a goat with something on it. I mean,
Right.
it's always something new.
Right.
Just a victim of your own success
Right.
now, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, like, obviously, you guys are very successful doing this and whatever else. And do y'all ever mentor other people that are trying to get into this a little bit?
We absolutely do.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, the podcast is. We were talking about that a little bit before we started, but we just recently last Sunday had some people come from Jackson, Tennessee, which is a good ways away from us.
Sure.
And you know what? I'm all about helping other barbecue guys get started.
Yeah.
I want them to know exactly what it takes. It takes a lot of commitment. Takes a lot of resources also, but I want them to know to be immersed. They came to the trailer, gave them a walkthrough of the trailer,
Yep.
And just we're open book.
Yeah.
I mean, there is a high volume of people that's interested in starting mobile food service.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I get message after message. Got a phone call, what was it, last week from Pennsylvania, wanting to know some other barbecue guys, what we thought on specific smokers for the trailer, and just if anyone ever wants to reach out to us, please reach out.
Yeah.
I mean, we're an open book. I'll tell you exactly what we did, what we do, marketing-wise and business-wise, and man, we'd love to help some guys.
Jan's going to be
Nice.
the first one contacting
Nice.
you. He's
Right,
been
right.
wanting to open
No,
up that.
you know, I don't have, like, I want a food truck, right? I want it. I've talked about it all the time. I think, you know, I'm in that rat race of life where I've got a nice job. I love my job, right? And I make good money, and it's one of those things like, man, how do you? But it's not my passion, and that's the thing I'm trading off, right? Like, I have a passion for talking and barbecue, and I don't know if it's really specifically wanting to have a food truck, to be honest with you. The more and more I think of it, especially after this weekend or this week, just kind of being here, because it makes you think about it a little bit. Like, it's not for everybody, right? This is hard work that you're putting in, but I don't know, man. Like, I think I need to go work on a food truck. You know what I mean? Like, go just volunteer. Like, look, you don't pay me. I'm just going to work on your food truck, and whatever. And then maybe I'll go work on a different food truck.
Are you turning in an application right now?
Right.
Maybe.
Hey, we need help. I mean,
Yeah, definitely. I'll volunteer, man. It's free.
You said the key word, though. I mean, everybody talks, you know, all they see is what goes out the window. They don't see what happens
Yeah, the behind the scenes.
16 hours before that, you know, the payoff. It's hard work, number one.
Yeah.
Like, that's, I mean, and him and I knew it, but
Yeah.
there's a couple times, I mean, we just look at each other and like, I just want to go crawl into some kind of hole and just don't work for a week.
Yeah.
But, you know, then you wake up in the morning, you go, I get a little, 5 minutes of rest. I'm like, I'm feeling good now. Let's go.
Let's go make some
Yeah,
money.
and it's fun. I
Right.
mean, we don't have to worry about, we don't have to worry about somebody in the medical field dying on him.
That's right.
And I don't have to worry about the nonsense I had to worry about.
Yeah.
And so it's nice. The hardest decision, as he says, is, do you want nachos? Jalapenos on your nachos.
Yeah,
That's the hardest decision now, man.
Right.
That's easy. I mean,
Right.
It don't get any easier.
I love
That's
that.
awesome.
No clocking in.
No clocking in, right?
that's right.
You can work when you want to work. Literally, if you like, I'm not. I mean, you guys are here today, right? Y'all are. Your vehicle out there is not making money, but you're like, dude, this is a networking event, blah blah blah. But was it you? Somebody said like you're going to get calls already going.
We already did.
Yeah, where
I
are
was
you
taking
at?
calls when we were serving
Right,
a little bit ago.
right. Where are you at? I can't understand. You're not here. Like, I need food, right? And it's like, Jesus, man, come on.
They're
Let me
worried to
have a
death
freaking-
we're leaving town. David got a photo of the blank spot where the trailer usually sits. Why are y'all not here?
I love it. I love it.
Something else too that along the lines of that, when we started this mobile food thing, we thought that we were going to be mobile, and we've just the huge following that we got. We can't even become mobile anymore.
Yeah.
We can't hardly
Just
even
gotta
leave.
Post up.
Yeah. They don't want to chase
They
you
get
down.
mad.
Very
They
mad.
literally, we get back. They stomping their feet. And,
Yeah.
well, y'all don't leave again. Well, it's
But
nice.
you have to take time for this,
No,
this
you
type
do.
stuff.
Yeah,
This is
right.
a broader reach right here, especially get to meet you guys.
Yeah, definitely.
I would have
Yeah.
never got to meet you guys, and you have to do it to build. It's a business building opportunity.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I love this, man. Like, I'm so blown away. I've seen I've seen you guys. I've seen a lot of these guys, and I'm like, and I see you in real life. I'm like, oh shit, that's like, hey, look over there. That's them over there. Look over there. It's just kind of a cool little experience that I never really thought the podcast that we were on would actually take us. In the competing world, like, we see guys and whatever, and we've really, I guess taken a back seat to the competing the last couple of years, and just kind of maybe do one or two, and really just focusing a lot on the marketing side, the social media side, and putting out good content. And anybody can press play, right, and record yourself. But at the end of the day, it's like I want somebody to be able to listen to you and like enjoy what they're listening to, right? And I think we've kind of succeeded with this a little bit, only because
I agree.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah,
I'm a fan of y'all's. I watch your stuff. I watch all of your stuff, actually.
Nice. Yeah, it's one of those things like you
all the social media outlets.
Yeah.
I look at it. So.
Nice.
Especially TikTok.
So you see John a lot there.
I do.
I was going to say.
John, you should probably my brother James. He is the big beard. Sometimes he's on there or whatever. He couldn't be here. We've sent him pictures a lot.
He's so mad.
He is so upset he couldn't be here. He works for a oil and gas company. He's like, I got to be at work. I can't take off, right? So
something about social media too. We use social media in a specific way.
Yeah.
Of course, we're on all forms of media, but back home, our customer base is normally on Facebook.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Our broader reach people like you guys, Instagram, TikTokish, and we target some to Snapchat. So in each one of those, if you notice, is almost an age group.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
That's right.
Yeah.
Totally.
That's right.
And the majority of our sales, like what our specials are and stuff like that, is Facebook. That's where our main flow is.
Okay.
So
throw it out there.
Locals can follow you.
yes,
That's a bit you need friends and family, right? I mean, without family support, you have like, is it basically driving y'all's in the very beginning, like everybody's telling everybody, right? My husband or my whatever, they're doing this,
friends,
friends.
Yeah. And the good thing is our friends don't expect to not pay. They do pay. Thank goodness.
Yeah, right.
But we gave them a lot of free stuff when we were, competing and stuff. But they know to pay now, which is nice because usually they don't.
Right.
And I got some friends that let me tell you, I put them through college.
Right. Oh wow.
And then all of a sudden now, they're all tight and everything with their money.
Right.
It is what it is.
Hey, I need you to come buy a brisket today. Okay. You owe me.
Oh. They
We've
know.
done it.
Yeah. They know.
Yeah. That's cool. Very cool.
Are y'all doing any competing anymore? Or?
Yes.
No time.
We're trying. No. We're gonna do it this year.
Nice.
We have some places that's blocked. Definitely doing the American rule. We will be at Memphis in May, but we're more support. We're going with some other people.
Okay.
And I think that's an excellent thing to lead into. If you're interested in doing those big comps, man, that's perfect. Get on with another team, wash some dishes, do anything it takes, and man, you learn volumes.
Yep.
And that's what we're doing.
Nice.
So, and I think we're going to do some smaller stuff, but of course the American rule for sure. We've got that blocked.
Very cool.
All week.
Yeah. That's
There'll be some extracurricular activities leading up to the actual barbecue,
And there has to be.
Of course.
You know what I mean?
Right.
I mean,
yeah.
It's
come on.
First of all-
This is not just body by brisket. It's body by a bunch of other things.
right.
So
I love it.
Yeah.
love
Bourbon,
it.
brisket, beer, all the
Right.
bees.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
All the bees.
So I did snag your SPG, and I came over to the table earlier, and I was like, and Matt over here, he's like, SPG? I said, nope. It's got a little onion in it.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, well, that's cool. All right. Very cool, right? And so that's one of the things, like, y'all have the seasonings out. Is that it? Is there anything else that y'all
We have
do?
our dry rub. We're working on our co-packaging for our wet,
Okay.
our sauce stuff. Right now we're using, I'll just tell you, we're using Code 3. We're using Chris's stuff in our trailer.
Okay.
We want to promote those guys. They're small business too. And
Sure.
until we get some stuff finalized, we're going to use them till whenever.
right?
But, the SPG is probably the major big seller.
Yep.
A lot of the KCBS teams in the Kansas City area, even some of the big following on the SCA circuit are using the SPG, and a lot of teams have been placing really well with it. So
Nice.
we've had some GCs with our actual barbecue rub and our both together. And we went to Olathe, Kansas 2 weeks ago. There was a KCBS contest there. Met up with some friends. And I was surprised of the high majority of teams that were actually using our product. Can't tell which ones.
Right,
Can't
right.
tell you.
Yeah, you can't tell us,
right,
yeah.
right.
But
That's right.
when you walk in a trailer, it's very humbling when you walk in a trailer and you see your product there.
Sitting right there.
Yeah.
Dude,
That's
cool is
awesome.
that?
Yeah, that's a good feeling.
Oh my God, I don't know. We're not. We did flirt around a little bit with the grabbing the brisket rub. I think we kind of we did like a little home packaging on it, and but The problem is, like, you know, what we found is, like, you can buy the different ingredients on your own, right, and their raw states and mix yourself, right, and do your own combination. But when you go to a co-packer, you know, it may not taste the same, and so you're going back and forth, and you got to figure out, like, okay, is their stuff fresher than what we're getting? Is it a fresher seasoning? Is their grind not what I'm used to seeing? Is it a heavier grind or smaller grind? Right. So have y'all faced that?
I have.
Okay.
Yeah, did you go through a lot of iterations of that one?
Yes.
Yeah.
Hand mixing it at home.
Yeah.
Got it started on the comp level stuff. I would have people blind taste it at the workplace. Here's free food. Just tell me what you think about it. Don't tell me what I want to hear because I'm just giving you free food. And you know what? I got it narrowed down. Sold it for a while, hand mixed at home. Got with a co-packer. I sent them the recipe. They sent me what they thought would be good, and then I can remember the conversation from the co-packer. They're like, do you want to make it good or do you want to make it really good? I'm like, dude, I'll change my recipe. Let's try it. So got a couple of different versions of that back.
Okay.
And took maybe 6 or 7 coming back and forth, and then got it nailed down, and then it was go time.
Nice.
Start pumping it out.
Yeah.
I do have a funny story.
Yeah,
A great story
Tell
about
us,
that,
let's hear
actually,
it.
about when the SBG was done. So we're friends with Malcolm and them down in Hernando, and Jamie Williams and Mark Williams of Swan Life. So the factory that our co-packer is in Hernando. So the SBG got done, and the barbecue rub got done about the same time. Well, I was so excited, man. I went down to the co-packer in my truck, got 500 pounds of it, all in 10-ounce bottles.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm going to go by Malcolm's shop, and I'm going to let them look at it.
Yeah.
Man, got that case out, carried it in, and everyone from the office came out, and Malcolm came out, and Jamie and Mark, and a bunch of guys. Cut that case open, opened it up. Malcolm pulled that bottle out, and he goes, man, that label looks like fire. It looks amazing. And what's funny about it is it was mislabeled.
Yeah.
So the SBG was in the actual barbecue rub, and nobody even noticed it until I seen it when it was in Malcolm's hand. And, oh,
my God.
He made one phone call, and it got corrected. Just saying.
Yeah. We had Malcolm on.
He's got a little pull.
His when he says, hey, this is Malcolm, no one says Malcolm who.
Right. No, yeah,
Man.
right. We're going to fix this.
right.
Those guys have been great friends, too. They've helped us on a lot of our logistic handling and stuff like that, too.
Right.
And, we're friends with them, too.
How cool is that?
Yeah. Actually, when we did the trailer, I went and looked at his trailer because he has the Southern Dimensions, too. And
Okay.
we kind of based a little bit of what they did
Nice.
off of it. So.
What smoke are you running in that thing?
We're Old Hickory double with.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. We want to get into the whole hog game. That's the reason why we got that. I don't know if you've seen the other double width that's on the Operation Barbecue Relief trailer out here.
Yeah,
they have what they call a lazy suey. So it's like lazy Susan that's built for those. So whole hog sets up in there, pull it out. You can rotate it around, slide it back in there.
That's cool.
That's
So,
very cool.
Yeah, we're wanting to get one for ours.
That's something you don't see in Texas a lot. Is whole hog.
Yeah.
But ever since
That's the pinnacle.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, brisket. I know Texas,
It's
man.
king in
Watch
Texas,
out, you're
right?
in Texas
I
now.
know,
Easy.
I know. But whole hog, when you get to our area, whole hog's the pinnacle.
That's right.
Right, yeah.
That's
So,
right.
no, we
that's
love to
that's
do
what I
that.
love about barbecue so much is it's so regional. And we were talking earlier about how it is in Texas and the different flavor profiles you'll get here. But just go I know Texas is a big state, but just go a few states over and it just changes, right?
Oh, yeah.
And I think really because there was more of a hog, it was more prevalent there, right? It was
Yes.
easier to get than it was to get brisket or anything else at that time. But so it is the sauce. That's like sauce is king in these areas as well, right?
We're near Memphis.
Yeah.
Delta region near Memphis.
Yeah.
Would you say pork is king there?
Yeah, pork's king and vinegar. It's kind of a Carolina thing. It's a mix between sweet and some people are on the fence. Of course, in Kansas City, the sweeter the better.
Yeah.
I mean, it just bathing that. I mean, they literally pour barbecue sauce on themselves.
That's crazy.
It's
Seen them do it.
I mean, it's wild. But but more further south, it's more vinegar based and like Rendezvous. They're a dry rub, and I think you just, there's no rights or wrong. I don't think in barbecue.
No, there's not. And I I love it. I mean, in California, I don't know what they're doing over there.
They just tri-tips. That's all they got.
Tri-tips.
I know about that because I worked in California, and being from Arkansas, they're like, "Come here, we want to talk to you."
Yeah.
And they're all about their Santa Maria tri-tips, and
We've been eating
which
those
I
more
like.
often.
I like them.
I like tri-tip. We cook them, but we do. We're still going to do it Texas style a little bit. You know, we're not. I don't. Some guy actually posted or sent us a comment. Was like, "Hey, great job, but you should have used a Santa Maria." And I'm like, "No, like I don't." We first of all we smoked this on an offset until it got to a certain temperature, and then we pulled it and we seared it off like you would do a steak.
Like a reverse sear.
And, and it was freaking. It may be one of the best tri-tips I've ever had, right? And we had some different woods we applied to that. I think it was oak was our main wood, and then we had a little I don't know if it was cherry or something that we kind of doused in there, just kind of sweetened up a little bit. It was freaking amazing. And did you come over and try that thing?
Yeah, it was freaking amazing.
It was really good, really freaking good. And then I made the comments like, don't let Texas figure out how to do tri-tips, California, because you're not going to have any more. We're not going to send them to you. You know, and that was the big.
Well,
yeah,
I did a Texas brisket while I was there. That got destroyed.
Really?
I'm talking because they never had anything like that.
Yeah.
And then I one-upped them when I was working at the hospital there. I was like, well, we're going to do a Memphis-style pork butt and glaze it down and all that stuff. They've never had anything like that, which is crazy.
Well, he ruined him because whoever he was cooking with was it A5 or A9?
Oh yeah,
A Wagyu brisket, and he trimmed it down from 16 pounds to about 5.5. He comp trimmed it, and you could see in the video the guy kept looking at the stuff going. He said, "Did you have to trim all that?" Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean,
I paid for that.
Yeah. Oh, he did. He took it, ended up grinding it up and used it for whatever. But they're not used to that kind of trim and that kind of precision on the, and so. But you know, it was delicious. Of course, I didn't try it. I know it was delicious. A9, so.
Right.
It had to be good, right?
No, it's got to be great.
Right.
Are you kidding me? I hate on California a little bit. I love California, right? I'm never going to live there. And every once in a while I think, like, move to an area that they don't have good barbecue, and we'll make good barbecue for them, and we'll be really successful. And then I remember, no, it's California. I'm not moving there. It's not happening.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
It's like Connecticut.
Such a
John is from California. Yeah. This is why we talk so much shit right here. So
I mean, they are our second biggest listenership.
They are. We love California. It's not we just joke around or whatever else. Sorry, California.
Sorry.
There is a high popularity though. I was in the Sacramento area, and there was a meetup. So my friend was like, "Hey, come meet these barbecue guys. They want to meet you. They know you're from Arkansas, and they've seen your social media stuff."
Yeah.
So went and met with those guys, and they were cooking in a parking lot. It wasn't a competition. They were just cooking in a parking lot.
Just hanging out.
And met tons of folks, which led into business opportunities for our rub, getting in stores. It's crazy. I met people in California, and then that in turn got me in a store in Springfield, Missouri.
I love that.
But,
you never
There's
know,
a lot of guys out there in Northern California.
Yeah. And but there is a growing popularity in Northern California of what we do back here.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Very
big
cool.
time.
Well, man, guys, we appreciate you stopping in.
Absolutely.
Before we go, you wanna give the listeners a place where they can find your rubs and everything else?
Sure.
Social medias, all that.
Yeah, absolutely. Of course, we're Trauma Hogs BBQ. If you think like a trauma nurse, that's where it comes from.
Yep.
TraumaHogsBBQ.com. We have full-blown website. We have ordering our rubs on our website. We are all over social media. What is it? Go ahead, Ned.
Oh, no, I'm just making sure our people taking pictures of us on this podcast.
Oh, okay.
Oh. That's the universal taking pictures.
Hey, take a picture. Yeah.
But, yes, we're all on Instagram, big time on Facebook. Of course, we were talking about earlier, the TikTok, and then Snapchat. So
nice.
But, yeah, thank you guys a lot.
Definitely.
We're fans of you guys.
Heck yeah.
Hey,
So
we appreciate it.
Well, anything to do with brisket.
I know it, right?
Right.
You gotta
grab them in the brisket.
You gotta grab them.
Right.
Thanks, guys.
Cool. Thanks.
Hey, so I keep saying this over and over again, but we are still at the National Barbecue Association
And grilling.
Damn it, Matt. And we are fortunate to have the Shed BBQ with Brad and Brooke welcome in, guys.
Oh, man, I tell you what, I don't think you can say it enough these days. I'm at the National Barbecue Conference. Doesn't it feel good just to be at a conference, let alone a conference that's full of people that are so passionately driven in one direction,
That's right.
which is
Yeah.
grilling and smoking, barbecue? It feels good. I mean, it's a family reunion.
I cannot agree more. It is. You feel like it's a kind of a camaraderie. Like we don't like we have never met. Like we're guys in South Texas over here, right? It's not whatever. But we show up here and we're really expecting to have the kind of this wall up, this barrier, right? And like to meet somebody like, hey, and you have to kind of tear them down a little bit to kind of introduce yourself. But it's been freaking crazy, man. I am so excited.
Yeah.
Like
Everybody's like open arms.
Yeah.
Well, that's what it's about. I mean, you know, the legend Mike Mills once said, hey, look, you don't see the spaghetti guys getting together.
Right.
But the barbecue guys, not only do we get together, but we get together with these just welcome, wide open arms. And we're like, hey, let me tell you what I've done right. Let me tell you what I've done wrong. If I can save you some money, if I can steer you in a different direction, but it's both ways. So it's like everybody at the National Barbecue Conference are teachers and students at the same time, depending on who you're talking to. I think, to me, that's one of the most beautiful things. You know, Brad and I have been coming, and the whole Shed BBQ team, we've been coming to this conference since 2000 and, correct me if I'm wrong, Brad, 8? Potentially 9? I think 2008.
It could be 2008, 2009. Could be. You're right.
Well, I tell you, but it's never-ending learning.
Yeah.
It's learning.
Yeah.
That's what we're here for. And to high five and have cold drinks and just see what the new thing is that's out there and catch up with people.
Sounds like the new thing is out there is just grab them in the brisket. So I got like a new theme song for you guys. You know, we just go, grab them in the brisket. It's a Texas barbecue podcast. We call it Grab them in the Brisket.
We're just gonna hire you to make.
Did you guys? Is there any questions, or can I go back to the bar? We go.
This is the new hype man right here.
I love it. Leave it up to Brad.
Yeah.
Hyping it up.
Grab them in the brisket. When was the last time you were at the National Barbecue Convention? Well, the last time I grab them in the brisket.
You have a hard time with that one, didn't you? You were going to say it, and you're like, I don't know if I should say that.
And I'm actually like reading it also, so just terrible.
Look, I've definitely heard of you guys. I think y'all are like famous, right? Let's be honest, with the Shed barbecue, the Blues. This has been like a thing together. It's a family brand business. Can you give us a little bit of detail?
There's definitely a family dynamic there. Thanks for saying the word famous, I guess. I don't think we think that, obviously.
We're thinking like the FAM is for family. We just do what we do.
Yeah.
And we've been doing it for 20 plus years. We get up, we go to work.
Yep.
Yeah, we created it.
Nice.
Yeah. Do we have to go to work every day? Probably not. But we do.
Yeah.
We show up.
You love it.
It's it's so wild to have the opportunity to do pretty much what we set out to do.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It's we cook barbecue, low and slow over pecan wood. Every single day.
Every single day.
Yeah.
It's
everybody's like, oh, what's new? And we're like, nothing.
We got more pecan.
I tell you, we started, we opened the Shed. You know, Brad went to Ole Miss, graduated Ole Miss. I was in college at the time when he graduated in 2000. I just graduated high school, went into college. 2001, we start building this little shed with all Brad's dumpster diving stuff. He's a dumpster diver.
Oh, yeah.
If anybody's ever seen anything about the Shed or seen the Shed, they know it's, as Guy Fieri quotes, the Shed is junkadelic. One man's trash is another man's treasure. Brad's treasure. And we built the shed on a shoestring budget, basically without the shoestring. And we used his old corrugated tin and license tags and tacky chandeliers and all the stuff he had collected while he was in school, and made this little 330 square foot to-go barbecue joint, which we opened August of 2001, and then just organically grew and a lean-to here and a lean-to there, and now we're on 22 acres. So we have our own little barbecue paradise out there. Yeah, Oasis Resort, whatever
we
you
call
want
it Highway 57. Barbecue heaven.
Yes. I love
Come on out and get fed at the shed.
It's so fun to watch Brad anytime we do
I'm really
podcasts.
liking this microphone
because
I mean, I want to be an entertainer one day, and this is maybe as close as I'm ever going to get. So
you've made it. You've already made it.
It's
just
so
grab
fun.
them in the brisket.
It's so fun to watch it because your whole stance turns different when you get on.
Well, y'all can't see it right now. Or wait, are we live right now? Are we good?
We're on. There's some footage going.
Oh, fun! People are.
Thank
hi.
goodness that I wore clothes today.
Right.
But yeah, so we just started slinging barbecue. We're fifth generation entrepreneurs. Our grandfathers on both sides and great grandfathers at some point in time, including Brad, at some point in time were meat cutters. And our family has always been either in like some sort of hospitality industry, entrepreneurship, and or food and grocery stores, things like that. And I feel like even when we didn't realize that it was just instilled in our blood and it was just gonna happen. It was one of those things that was gonna happen. And so we just grew and grew and grew, and now we're out there trying to learn, teach.
We're out
learn,
there trying
teach.
to grab them in the brisket.
Right. Love it.
I'm going to release
I
an
mean,
episode
honestly,
that's just that.
it's crazy because we could not. We've been open for 20 years, and we couldn't give a brisket away 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Like Mississippi barbecue, sweet, sticky, smoky pork.
Right.
That's
right.
pork driven, and we always use prairie fresh pork. But now all of a sudden, brisket somehow is, getting in there more and more. Thank goodness the, Food Network, Food TV, Discovery Channel.
Oh, yeah.
That's what's putting it on the map.
The ignition. I mean, that's like almost like lighting a fuse. When they did that, the original series of the barbecue, it was like everybody now is like building a pit, opening up a catering business. Everybody, you know what I mean? It's a barbecue explosion. It's crazy.
Well, I think it too. Everything crossed over at that point, barbecue-wise, because it used to be so regionalized.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You had your vinegar region and your mustard-based region and your tomato-based sauce region, your dry rub region, all that. And now everything is crossed over and everybody's doing a little bit of everything. But then it's even turned even more than that, and now it's in this like crazy culinary space.
That's right.
It's not man, fire, meat. It's women and men, and all sorts of processes of either slow and low or fast and fiery cooking, but encapsulates that BBQ, that barbecue, and fancy. I couldn't tell you how many super like white tablecloth high-end barbecue restaurants that I've been to in the last 6 or 7 years that you wouldn't have dreamed of 20 years ago.
Yeah.
I think that was actually Famous Dave that said that.
What's that?
Yeah, Famous Dave. He said it. He's like, barbecue back in the day, it was easy. No competition. He said now every asshole chef in the country wants to put barbecue on their menu. Right. And that's Famous Dave. And you know what? I love it because it just continues to evolve.
Yeah.
I mean, think about it. People have been cooking with wood. Think about it.
Original.
There was not an electric oven, y'all.
Yeah.
All the oven that you know in your house, that was a wood-fired stove.
Right.
All the stuff that we love, all the breads, all the everything.
It was all cooked with wood.
It's the evolution.
Yeah.
And now it's getting back. It's getting back.
Well, it's gourmet now, though.
Thanks for having us, by the way.
No, man, you have no idea. You have no idea.
I didn't know I was going to get a chance.
Come on.
To grab him in the brisket
He knew.
today.
He knew.
But I'm glad,
Yeah,
you know. I've been actually waiting on wearing these headphones.
Nice. Okay.
You just take the mic with you when we're done here.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, you want it. I can tell.
I'm telling you.
I love it. So, the blues aspect to y'all's barbecue restaurant, how much does that influence like y'all's business and I mean I know it drives a little bit, but it's almost a whole other thing, right?
Yeah.
It's like your barbecue's great. It's top notch. It's whatever. Then you have the blues aspect y'all bring to it.
Yeah.
Is that?
So we have a middle child.
Okay.
You know, Brad and I are brother, sister, business partners. I'm the baby. He's the oldest. In the middle is our coolest brother.
Yeah.
Our coolest
Somehow
sibling.
he got like the cool card. I
Yeah.
can't even believe it right
But,
now.
yeah.
He has a
He's
record label called Space Flight Records.
Yeah, he has a recording studio. He lives in Austin, Texas.
I'm still mad at him.
And when we opened, and he said, if you're going to have beer, barbecue, we need to put some live music out. And we've always loved the blues. I mean, we're in Mississippi.
Yeah.
We are the state of the blues.
Yep.
And so he started booking bands. And then, of course, he graduated from Full Sail and became an audio engineer, opened a recording studio in Austin, Spaceflight Records. But he's traveled for the last 25 years with numerous bands. Right now he's on his third world tour as the lead sound engineer with Jack White. And so he's the one that, like, really drives the music or I guess started that, initiated it, and said, look, this is important. And we've had many efforts over the years of doing free blues shows just to purely try to keep the blues genre alive and try to tell the stories of all these old cats that are dying off.
Yeah.
And because 12-bar blues is like the basis of all genres of music.
Yeah.
And so Brett was really the one that like pushed us. And then, of course, Brad being at Ole Miss and going at all the junior Cambros and all the old juke joints. And then our family just loving music and entertainment in general. It just all came together. But super, super passionately driven in that aspect. But he still keeps us in check. I mean, he keeps us in check. But he...
No doubt. I mean, it's like... So, beer, barbecue, and blues, right?
Yep.
So, beer, it's hard to make.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
Barbecue is hard to make.
Yep.
Blues is hard to make. So it's, it's a labor of love. Just all day long, and I appreciate every moment of it.
That's very cool.
That's awesome.
It's
Yeah.
wild.
Yes.
Living the dream.
Because, I mean, think about it. If you're an entertainer, that's hard.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't care
Long
what you're
hours.
doing. Whatever it is super, super duper hard.
Yeah.
What I think a lot of people don't understand how much work really goes in, right? And like, it's not it's a 16-hour day that sometimes that you guys are putting in, and that's a long freaking day, right? Just in order to have somebody go, oh, it tastes really good. You're like, you have no freaking clue how good that really tastes, man. Because there was 16 hours of my day that I've put into this.
Really, you want to be like, listen up, fucker.
Right. No, I know. No, it's good. It's good. Good. So we are a barbecue and beer podcast. So
It's all
Okay.
right.
right.
Look, I'm staring at everybody like, yeah, sorry, Brad. Brad,
Yeah.
keep it PG.
What had happened was,
What
I'll tell you, the reason why that happened is because all I did
was
grab them in the brisket.
I'm just glad you're never going to forget our names.
Yeah.
Like,
No, I'm surprised you guys are here, and I'm super stoked that you actually have all this bougie equipment set up.
right. Yeah.
And I mean, it really makes me feel good.
we'll leave it set
That's
up
why
so you
we
can
came.
cut out a
That's
couple of
badass.
tunes. while
Did
you're
y'all
here.
bring any brisket?
We did not.
We did
bring
not.
any
We thought
brisket.
there'd be some here.
Starving.
I know.
Starving
I know.
right now.
I know.
We might
Oh,
be
my
missing out on
goodness.
some right now by the looks of it.
Getting close to dinner time.
I know. I think we are
Oh.
getting so the chef of the hotel he wanted to cook brisket for everybody because he said he wanted some of the best people in the business to critique his brisket.
Oh wow.
And I thought, man, that's really.
Do you know
set.
what
I mean,
Ooh.
good on him. Good on him, though. Yeah.
Good on him.
Yeah.
Do you know
Good
what
on
you're
him.
doing? I
Brave,
get
bravery.
shoot
Yeah.
your shot.
That's ballsy.
Right? You got to shoot your shot sometime in life. But I'm like, Are you sure you want this?
You really want to do that?
Right.
Yeah.
It'll be good. It'll be good.
Oh, yeah. It's good stuff.
It smells good.
It does smell fantastic.
Y'all got any questions for us? Or you just gonna let us talk the whole time? Yeah.
No, I was hoping y'all would just talk the whole time. Sure.
Hey, I can talk. I can talk.
I thought you were coming on here to entertain us. Is that not what's happening?
So far,
I actually have a couple stories.
Okay. Yeah.
Let's hear it.
There you go.
It's just grab them in the brisket.
I could tell. I already knew.
So the thing is,
Matt, Jan, and John are going to be like, you're off.
Right.
No, I'm telling you, we're going to have a
guy.
remix song. Grab them in the brisket.
I'm already editing it. It's already
Yeah,
going
are you
together.
really?
Yeah. It's
He's going to cut
It's
every
I'm
single
feeling
one
good
you've
about
done.
this. I need a good little bass line, some
Let me drop a beat.
a little bit of rave
add a little-
or something.
Yeah, we can add a little slap, little
Oh, my
slap
goodness.
cymbals or something. I don't know.
We'll send it to your brother.
Yeah.
Let him
So
do it.
hey, he can do it. He can master it. He can make that happen.
Send it to Stale Cracker on TikTok.
Right.
That's how you get famous.
Right.
Yes.
He's killing it.
He is.
Good for him too. I mean, social media is crazy. Like we did the social media influencer panel, and just this podcast, YouTube, all the outlets. Between it's insane how fast the world's growing in that area and how critically important it is.
Yeah.
And it brings life to so many things. It's not just about still shots anymore. It's about making reels and videos and interaction and telling stories.
There's a story, right? You got to have a story.
Exactly what it is. And not everybody can be face to face these days. Everybody's moving and grooving really fast, rapidly. And so just riding in your car listening to y'all's podcast brings light and life to barbecue and Brad grabbing people in the brisket.
Right.
And
I'm just saying, I really didn't think about that, but I'm gonna have to take a break so I can just grab them in the brisket.
hey, listen, it's not a bad question. It's not a good question either. But what is the best for you? What is the best thing that y'all make? What if your go-to thing that you're like, I love it. It's the best thing we make. What do you go for?
The local sushi bar that I go to is really awesome.
Okay.
And the best thing that I make is a to-go order.
To-go order, right? A repeat to-go order?
My favorite category is the exotic category. So like Mfg.
Yeah.
It's out there. So now at this point, because we've kept our menu so simple over all these years, because we could have like 24-karat gold steak on the menu for $1.
Yeah.
And people want to come in and they want a pork sandwich.
Yeah.
yeah, I
They
think
want a
pork
rack of
sandwich is
ribs.
our number one
They already
seller.
know how they're going to get fed at the shed.
But back to the exotic, with the shed, we try to keep it tried and true. 7 meats, 6 or 7 sides. Consistency. Our pulled pork, we won Best Sandwich in America years ago on Regis and Kelly, and I think that kind of put that pork sandwich on the map, or did put that pork sandwich on the map.
Got to have some coleslaw on the top of that sandwich.
Well,
Keep it
we're
all.
South Mississippi. It's about, whole hog and pork, and that's king in Mississippi versus like your brisket, your beef in Texas. But when we compete, we're able to really like spread our wings and do stuff in the exotic category and play with lamb and different things. And I think that's some of our favorite times is we don't have, it's not just that slow and low every day.
The best thing that we make when it comes to barbecue is memories.
Yeah.
I love that.
For sure.
It's so prolific.
I think that's the name of this episode now.
Memories.
The best thing you make in barbecues, memories.
I mean,
that's pretty good.
You got to think about it, because
good.
you go to a restaurant or you go wherever, you go to your buddy's house and they're like, bro, how'd you cook that? Well, you know what? That's great. It tasted good. Yeah, you satiated your belly, but you created a memory.
That's right.
And that's really what the shed does every day, and that's what we do well.
Yeah.
Badass.
Yeah.
Oh, that was a good answer.
Freaking badass, man.
And I'm out of here. If y'all could see me, I'd be dropping the mic right after I grab them in the brisket.
Yeah, we don't want to keep you guys from dinner. So
Oh my goodness.
You have no idea. We appreciate it so much.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank y'all. Thanks for giving us
Hell
a mic, and thanks for giving Brad a microphone. Maybe.
Yeah.
Thank
Yep.
you.
And thank you. I'm going to take this microphone with me right here behind me. I'm close to the bar. See y'all there.
That's right.
All right.
Hey, listen, y'all check us out, theshedbbq.com. Follow us on all those social media platforms because I will say we are fun to follow at the Shed BBQ. I got to give that shout out and thank you guys for what you're doing. Thank you for spreading that love and making sure that you're preaching the gospel of barbecue because it's important.
Very cool.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, guys. Hey, listen, if you enjoyed this last one, you're going to love the next one. Thank you so much, and we'll see you on part 3.
We have Mark Lambert with Sweet Swine of Mine, Kel Phelps of Barbecue News Magazine and now president of the NBBQA, and Sonny Moody, the reigning state champion in the world.
And if you want to get a hold of us, you know how to do it. GrabTheBrisket.com, GrabTheBrisket@gmail.com.
Boom.
Dang it, Bobby. Just grab the brisket. We'd like to give a special thanks to Sucklebusters Barbecue Rubs and Sauces, Bolner's Fiesta Spices, CoolieNation Custom Koozies, Cambro Manufacturing, YETI Coolers, the Smoke Sheep Barbecue Newsletter, and Dalstrong Knives. We definitely appreciate your support.